At this time, I will call to order the September 9th, 2025 regular meeting of the School Board of Charlotte County. Here in Charlotte County, we will achieve our vision of success for all through our mission to educate, inspire, and support all students to build stronger communities. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. And thank you for that. Mr. Superintendent, are there any additions or corrections to the agenda?
Mr. Chair, we have the addition of item L10, Greater Florida Consortium of School Boards 2026 Legislative Platform Proposal.
Move the addition of L10.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the addition to the agenda. Any board discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Mr. Superintendent, reports, please.
This evening, we are excited to highlight the I Voted Sticker Design Contest in partnership with the Supervisor of Elections. Please join me in welcoming to the podium our Curriculum and Instruction Specialist, Ms. Ellen Harvey, along with our Supervisor of Elections, Ms. Leah Valente, to present the winning design.
Well, thank you so much. The Supervisor of Elections wanted to include young people in the local city voting process with an I Voted sticker contest. So the contest was sent to the Sally Jones art teacher, Susan Landis, who graciously took on the contest as part of her curriculum, asking fifth graders to create a design. And I'd like to introduce Leah Valente, the Supervisor of Elections, to present the winner of the I Voted sticker contest.
I was just speaking. Thank you for having me here tonight and putting this on your guys' agenda. I was just speaking with a few folks before, and I had the pleasure of speaking to Murdoch Middle School today, to 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, and what a joy that was. So to be able to round it out this evening and be here to honor such a wonderful, now 6th grader, Lacey, who entered, which it's always difficult with art, right? Because it's subjective and you never know how it's going to be judged, how other people are going to take it. So I always think that last year was the first year we did the I Voted sticker contest, as many of you know, for the high schoolers. So I said, you know what? Well, we involved the high schoolers, City of Punta Gorda. Why don't we involve the Sally Jones Elementary? I think we did 3rd through 5th graders. And it was wonderful. And for Lacey to step up and submit her artwork and let others judge it, I think says a lot about her. Hers was a standout, but you can see we had various submissions. There were a few that I thought were going to be neck and neck. But we are here tonight to celebrate Lacey and the wonderful teacher, Miss Susan Landis. I know that this was outside of her curriculum and an undertaking, so I can't say thank you enough to Ellen Harvey here for keeping this all together for us and getting it on track, and Miss Landis for putting this forth to the students and really getting them involved. It is my idea that getting them involved now, our youth, they are the futures of this community. And there's no better time than now to really talk to them about civic engagement and what that means, what that sticker means. It's a receipt. It's saying that you voted, your vote is your voice, that you made your voice heard. So I love, love, love that we involve our students. I had the Murdoch Middle School today, kids vote. By the way, Christmas always wins for favorite holiday. I will say that. Christmas was, again, the clear winner with Murdoch Middle, the emerging leaders. But with that, I'm going to ask Miss Lacey to come up here and say a few words. Please welcome her. Do you reach? I'll bring, you know what, here. Go around here, honey.
Good evening. I got my inspiration from how Punta Gorda is a city where everyone is connected and united as like kind of a family. That's why I drew the people all by each other in my picture. And I drew the USA flag for, well, I mean, obvious reasons. And voting. I used alcohol markers and lots of imagination and restarts because I got frustrated and made it through. I made this new one that made me say and feel like I was going to win. And I am proud that I live here in Punta Gorda.
Stay right here. Stay right here. You guys, I got here tonight, and I always love to surprise them. I don't tell them ahead of time that I want them to say a few words. I got the high schoolers last year, and they did phenomenal. She just put those talking points together within a matter of 20 minutes. So if that doesn't speak to who this young lady is, you're going to do big things. And with that, I'm going to present you with this. And look, you got your sticker over there and my seal over here, too. Yep. Pretty cool. And I was telling her that thousands and thousands of people are going to get to see this and wear this. And it's a badge of honor for you. And I hope you remember this forever and ever. And you can take it to college and hang it over your bed and tell everybody you won the I Voted sticker contest. And Miss Susan Landis, I'd like you to come up and also accept your. Yes, it's also why. Here you go. You want to say something?
Oh, no. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for choosing our school for this fun opportunity.
And this is for you. You don't have to take that to college and hang it over your bed. Okay. Thank you all very much. I guess we're going to take some photos.
Yes, we are. Ms. Valente, thank you very much. And Lacey, congratulations. That was a wonderful speech. And board, if you could please join me in front of the dais.
Thank you so much for always allowing our students to participate in that, Leah Valente, and looking forward to next year also, or the next one. Thank you. All right. At this time, Ms. Carey, Ms. McCarthy, are there any citizens wishing to address the board? Seeing none. At this time, I will recess the regular meeting and call to order a public hearing. Mr. Superintendent, the budget public hearing, please.
Okay, Mr. Allen, you have a tough act to follow. Our Chief Financial Officer, Marcus Allen, will be presenting the 2025-2026 final millage rates and final budget.
Make sure there we go. Good evening, Chairman Leclerc, Superintendent Vianello, and board members. It's my privilege to present to you the Charlotte County Public Schools budget for fiscal year 25-26. As required by law, we'll begin the hearing with a review of the millage rates, taxable values, and tax levies. The total recommended millage is 6.288 mils, and the total millage rate to be levied is less than the rolled back rate by 0.58%. The total proposed millage rate is 6.288 mils, which is a decrease of 0.026 mils, all as the result of a decrease in the required local effort. As has been the case for many years, the discretionary rate of 0.748 mils and the capital millage rate of 1.5 mils remains unchanged. In addition, we will be continuing the 1 mil operating levy based on the passage of the referendum. Taxable values for this year will be approximately $38.477 billion, which is an increase of approximately $1.1 billion. That's roughly a 3.1% increase in the tax roll from last year. As the chart shows, in the last few years, taxable values in Charlotte County have been growing rapidly, averaging nearly 20% growth per year. But as you can see, this year shows a slowdown of growth on the tax roll and aligns it with pre-Hurricane Ian growth rates. Our budgeted tax levies at the 96% value are expected to yield just over $232 million across all funds. $178 million is for operating funds, which does include the $36.9 million from the voted operating millage, and $55.4 million in the local capital improvement taxes. This chart shows the taxpayer millage rate impacts for every $100,000 of taxable value as determined by the property appraiser that a property is assessed at. They will pay $628, which is about a $2 decrease per $100,000. Depending on the increase in the taxable value of the taxpayer's property, which based on a 3% increase in existing property taxable values as certified by the property appraiser, many non-homestead properties will likely see increases in their school taxes. However, for a taxpayer with the homestead exemption on their new home, they should see only a slight increase of approximately $3 per $100,000. So moving on to the summary of all funds, the budget's broken into 5 main parts, which consists of the general fund, the special revenue fund, debt service, capital project, and internal service funds. Of the total budget of approximately $567.5 million, 48% of it is for our general fund, which is often referred to as our operating budget. The next largest area is our capital projects, which encompasses about 28%. 8% is for special revenue funds. This fund is composed primarily of federal grants and the food service program. This includes funds from all anticipated federal sources, including FEMA and title funds. Debt service is at 11%, and this is for the repayment of the bonds we issued for the building, for rebuilding Meadow Park and Lemon Bay. And lastly, the internal service fund is approximately 5%, which is our employee benefits. As historically been the case, the majority of our revenue comes from local sources, and the primary local source is our tax collections. The largest fund, again, is our general fund, and you can see about 90% of our general fund revenues come from local sources, which includes the 6.4% from capital transfers, and 11% of our, about 10% of our general fund comes from state and federal sources combined. The full-time equivalence of students is the main drivers in determining revenue the district earns based on the Florida Education Finance Program. I'll briefly go over how we're funded under the FEFP model. So this year under the FEFP, Charlotte County is expected to have an increase of 614 students, more than we had last year, of which only 71 are expected to be in our traditional brick and mortar schools. We then take the base student allocation, which is the primary mechanism for determining the funding with the FEFP model. The rate is set by the legislature each year. While the change in the 25-26 year is positive to the base student allocation, you need to multiply that by the program cost factor, which is broken down by grade level or service level. For example, the K-3 student funding was reduced, but 9-12 funding was increased. The next step is to take the unweighted FTE and multiply it by the program cost factor in the previous chart. That calculates the weighted or funded FTE. For example, a middle school ESOL student has a 19% higher weight than just a regular middle school student. Historically, based on the FEFP, Charlotte County receives fewer dollars per student from state sources than most other districts. This year, we're at about 20.5%. The average district in the state of Florida receives approximately 54.4% of their FEFP generated funding from the state. And this is broken down historically. When we look at appropriations, the two largest categories are salaries and benefits, which account for approximately 73% of our budget. The next largest category is purchase services. Those include items such as charter school payments, school resource officer contracts, ESE contracted employees, and property insurance. Another way to look at expenditures is by function. So approximately 58% of expenditures are for direct instruction of students. That would include teachers, paras, textbooks, again, payments to charter schools, as well as classroom supplies. The next largest function is the operation of plant, which is about 11.5%. That would include utilities and cleaning of our schools. Final way to look at the cost is by location type. The largest category for cost is our elementary schools at about 26%. A significant amount of special allocations. That includes substitute teachers, textbooks, supplements, et cetera. They're budgeted at the district level, but they're charged to the appropriate school for cost analysis purpose as required by the state once the actual expenditure occurs. One of the most important sources of funding for our district is the referendum that was renewed in 2022 and up for renewal again next year. This slide kind of recaps the historical expenditures and revenues of this funding source and shows the budgeted amount for next year. The majority of our revenues continue to be used to fund competitive salaries and benefits for our employees. This chart shows the annual beginning, ending, and changes in fund balance over the last several years, with the gray bars representing the change. When the gray bar is sitting on top of the gold bar, that means we've spent less that year than the revenues we received. The board's approved increases in employee salaries and benefits, and just as a reminder, we fully budget for those costs at the beginning of the year. And we anticipate we'll spend down some of the fund balance that we've continued to accumulate over the last few years. The next major fund is the capital fund. This coming year, we're anticipating collection of approximately $55.5 million in capital improvement funds. And capital projects are divided into four major groups: facility maintenance and repair, furniture and equipment, transfers for debt service, which also include maintenance staff paid from the general fund, as well as property casualty insurance, and then new construction. The largest component of this is our facility maintenance and repair projects. We can also see one capital project noted as sales tax projects. That was part of the 21-22 school year with funds received from Charlotte County government. It's not a normal tax the district imposes. And that would be it.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. Are there any board questions at this time? No? Ms. Carey, Ms. McCarthy, are there any citizens who wish to address the board regarding the 2025-26 final millage rates or final budget? Seeing none. If there are no objections, I'm going to close the public hearing and resume the regular meeting. Mr. Superintendent, the action on the budget public hearing, please.
I will read into the record the final millage rates for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. District required local effort, including prior period adjustment millage, 3.04 mils. Capital outlay, 1.5 mils. Discretionary operating, 0.748 mils. Additional voted operations millage, 1 mil. The total millage rate to be levied is less than the rollback rate by 0.58%. I'm recommending approval of resolution 2025-004, adopting the final millage rates for fiscal year 2025-2026.
So moved. Second?
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the resolution 2025-004, adopting the final millage rates for fiscal year 2025 to 2026. Any board discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Mr. Superintendent, anything?
I am recommending approval of Resolution 2025-005 of the Charlotte County School Board adopting the final budget for fiscal year 2025 to 2026 in the amount of $567,490,578.
So moved. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the resolution 2025-005, adopting the final budget for fiscal year 2025-26. Any board discussion?
I did want to make a few comments.
Sure.
I could have made it when Mr. Allen was up here, but decided to wait. I did want to thank Mr. Allen and also the superintendent for answering my questions on both Friday and Saturday. I'm sure Mr. Allen was working this weekend. And making those corrections to the way the dollars per FTE are reported. It's really important that the public has accurate and transparent information about the budget. I do want to reiterate the same concern that I brought forward at the July 24 meeting, which is that we are taking our reserve down to the 10% minimum, which is what's required by board policy. That doesn't leave us a lot of cushion if the October count of students comes in different than what we're projecting. That being said, I am voting yes on this budget because I have full confidence in the plan that Dr. McElroy and Mr. Allen and the superintendent have presented to us, that they've been very clear that additional expense reductions can be made if necessary, and I believe that our superintendent will act decisively to protect that 10% reserve. So,
All right, thank you. Ms. Montri, any more board discussion at this time? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. I will again recess the regular meeting and call to order a public hearing. Mr. Superintendent, the instructional materials public hearing, please.
School board approval is required to initiate the Florida Instructional Materials Plan for adoption year 2025-2026 for English Language Arts K-12.
Any board discussion or any board questions? Ms. Carey, Ms. McCarthy, are any citizens wishing to address the board regarding the instructional materials? Seeing none. If there are no objections, I'm going to close the public hearing and resume the regular meeting. We now have the action on the instructional materials public hearing. Mr. Superintendent.
I am requesting approval to initiate the Florida Instructional Materials Plan for adoption year 2025-2026 for English Language Arts K-12.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the Florida Instructional Materials Plan. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. At this time, I will again recess the regular meeting and call to order a public hearing. Mr. Superintendent, the public hearing on school board policies.
We have 3 policies this evening which were updated as part of the Neola process to comply with state and federal law. These policies were reviewed at the July workshop as advertised. I will now refer back to you, Mr. Chair, for any questions the board may have regarding the public hearing.
Any board questions at this time? Ms. Carey, Ms. McCarthy, any citizens wishing to address the board regarding policies? Seeing none, if there are no objections, I'm going to close the public hearing and resume the regular meeting. Mr. Superintendent, the action on the public hearing.
I am recommending adoption of the policies as advertised.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to adopt the policies by the superintendent as advertised. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The motion passes. Mr. Superintendent, the consent agenda is next.
We have 10 routine items on the consent agenda which were reviewed in our individual meetings, and I am recommending approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The motion passes. The action agenda, Mr. Superintendent, the first item is an advertisement request.
As part of the policy revision process, we are required to advertise the consideration of policies prior to school board adoption at a public hearing. I'm requesting the board to approve the policies reviewed during this morning's workshop for advertising.
So moved. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the advertisement of the policies as stated by the superintendent. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The motion passes. Mr. Superintendent, the financial report is next.
This is the superintendent's annual financial report and the report of financial data to the Commissioner of Education for the fiscal year ending on June 30th, 2025. I am recommending approval of the annual financial report.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the 2024-25 annual financial report. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. The next item is the budget amendment, Mr. Superintendent.
Approval is requested of the budget amendment, which adjusts the 2024-2025 budget so the final budget reports can be completed. I'm recommending approval of the 2024-2025 budget amendment.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the budget amendment. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. We have a contract, Mr. Superintendent.
Procurement Services requests school board approval of the Instructure, Inc. contract as submitted. I'm recommending approval of the Instructure, Inc. contract.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the Instructure, Inc. contract as submitted. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The motion passes. The reunification plan, Mr. Superintendent.
Florida statute requires school districts to adopt a reunification plan that reunites students and employees with their families in the event that a school is unexpectedly closed or evacuated. I'm recommending approval of the 2025-2026 reunification plan.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the reunification plan for 2025-26. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The motion passes. Mr. Superintendent, we have an agreement.
This is a settlement agreement between Charlotte County Public Schools and Active Internet Technologies. I am recommending approval of the mediated settlement agreement as submitted.
So moved. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the mediated settlement agreement. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. We have another agreement, Mr. Superintendent.
The Florida Educator Health Trust Participation Agreement assists the procurement of health insurance coverage and administrative services as authorized under Florida law. I'm recommending approval of the participation agreement.
So moved.
Second.
And we have a motion and a second to approve the Florida Educator Health Trust Participation Agreement. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The motion passes. Mr. Superintendent, we have a fee pricing next, please.
Approval is requested of the revised Charlotte County Public Schools scholarship fee pricing. I am recommending approval of the scholarship fee pricing.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the Charlotte County Public Schools scholarship fee pricing. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. The personal action, Mr. Superintendent,
This
please.
is the personnel action including job descriptions, and I am recommending approval of the personnel action and job descriptions.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the personnel action as submitted. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Mr. Superintendent, the consortium legislative platform proposal.
This is the board's item, Mr. Chair, so I will defer back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. And Bob, would you like to start us up?
Well, I would like to say, first of all, apologize to my colleagues because I didn't have Andy Griffith there to help me this time, and it's much longer than it probably needed to be. But there are items that affect all different districts that are part of that consortium and that each district felt was important to them. And as members of the consortium, obviously we have the right, or not obviously, but many people may not know, we have the right to veto any item on that we don't agree with. But fortunately, I think in going through it, there's nothing that's contrary to anything that would impair our district in operations. So I'm happy to recommend that we adopt the proposal as drafted by the consortium.
So moved.
All right. First of all, thank you for being part of that process, Mr. Seeger. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve the 2026 Greater Florida Consortium of School Board Legislative Platform Proposal. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Thank you. All right, we're to that point where Ms. McKinley, you have any board comments?
Nothing tonight, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we're going to start off with Mr. Vice Chair Seeger tonight.
I would just like to extend a happy birthday to Ms. Reynolds this Friday, and I believe we have one coming up September 23rd, if I'm not mistaken, for Ms. Atkinson. I remember when I was that young for each of them. Other than that, I have no further comments this evening.
Thank you, Vice Chair Seeger. Ms. Atkinson.
I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Marcus Allen for all of the work and the presentation that you did today on the final budget, and also for all of the work that you did and your patience with me with the Florida Health Insurance, the Florida Health Trust. So thank you. Oh, and also Sally Jones, thank you for that presentation. That was great.
Thank you, Ms. Atkinson. Ms. Samatri.
So I would just like to thank the parents who have joined their school advisory councils. I had the privilege this month, I should say, of attending 2 different SAC meetings. And since Mrs. Sarah is here, I would really like to compliment her on how we gave feedback on the school improvement plans. And what I loved at my table was that I had 2 students. Those kids are smart. So they had some really good feedback on looking at the data and how we can make things better. So.
And thank you, Ms. Amontre. Ms. Reynolds.
Typically, my favorite part of our meetings is when we get to see our students perform and look at their artwork. But I have to say, my favorite part today was telling Mr. Seeger that he didn't know how to keep beat and all the other things. That was the best part of the day. So thank you to our Sally Jones kids for putting Mr. Seeger in his place, that he cannot keep beat and does not have rhythm. So, anyways, that is all. Thank you.
I disagree. You have not seen Mr. Seeger dance.
It gets worse.
Oh, there is video somewhere.
Thank you, Ms. Reynolds. And I have to agree, I was a little offbeat too, so I'm right there. I have no comments tonight. Mr. Superintendent?
For those who are listening or watching us tonight, I would like to remind everyone that tomorrow is our first early release days. We have 4 scheduled throughout this year, and so what is an early release day? We are 2 hours early, so whatever your normal dismissal time, just back it up 2 hours, and that's when we will dismiss tomorrow. And the why behind that is it allows us to have professional learning with our teachers, and as we invest in our teachers, we are investing in our students aboard. We appreciate and value those 4 early release days. We are 1 week away from tonight from having our first town hall meeting. And so we're going to kick it off next Tuesday, that's September 16th at 5:30 at Meadow Park. And then a week later, we'll be at Myakka River, September 22nd. And then a week after, we'll be at Sally Jones. On September 30th, all 3 events start at 5:30. And this is an invitation to anyone. If you're a parent, you're certainly welcome to join us. But if you're a community member and you want to learn more about our schools, please come. I invite you to attend. We'll start off with about a 10-minute presentation of information, or sharing of information, I should say. But then the rest of the time will be myself and our staff listening to the questions and comments that our participants have, and us being able to respond. So looking forward to them, and hope that we have a nice turnout. And so now, board, I'm moving on to our first Living Within Our Values of the school year, and this is a good one. This is a first. So for the first time ever, we're going to have, now we're in our 3rd year, we have 2 individuals who are receiving recognition for participating in the same event. So the nomination tonight comes from the principal of Vineland, Ms. Jackie Batchenick, and the individuals she nominated were their school resource officer, Officer Deputy Matt Housechild, and school security guard Brian Castle. So the core value being recognized tonight is safety. And here's what the nominations read. Mr. Castle exemplified the best safety practices when a parent's car nearly caught fire in our front parking lot. He quickly grabbed the fire extinguisher and rushed outside to address the situation. Throughout the incident, he remained cool, calm, and collected, effectively demonstrating the necessary safety measures. Thank you, Mr. Castle, for keeping our students, their families, and our school safe. And that ended with an exclamation point. The second nomination read, Deputy Housechild was of great assistance when a parent's car nearly caught fire in our front parking lot. He assisted our security guard with ensuring the vehicle was of no danger to those nearby and was helpful to the parent of finding resources to help her with her vehicle. Thank you, Deputy Housechild, for keeping our school safe. But wait, board, there's more. Shortly after that incident, we received a letter from a parent, and the letter said, Dear Principal, office staff, and security team, I just want to say a big thank you for all your support last week when my car almost caught fire while I was picking up my child. It was a very stressful moment, but thanks to the SRO and the security officers and the kindness and care from the office staff and principal, we felt safe and supported. As a small sign of gratitude, I baked a pie with chocolate and nuts. I hope you will enjoy it with your coffee or tea with appreciation, and that was signed by the parents. So tomorrow we have a chance to go out to Vineland, and we'll give 2 challenge coins this time, and I'm really looking forward to that. And so with that, Mr. Chair, that ends my comments for today.
What a great way to end our meeting tonight. With no further business, this meeting is adjourned.